Hey there, I'm your host, Tisha Michelle, and welcome to #Certified, where you will leave enlightened, empowered, and inspired to live a life of authenticity. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm your host, Tisha Michelle. So we had a new moon in Libra on Saturday, the 28th of September. It's all about bringing back balance. This new moon revealed to us where our relations were out of balance. Anything old, toxic, stagnant that no longer served our highest good, but yet we've been so attached, was brought up for us to let go. Like to let go in order to make room for the new. So about 2 days prior to the new moon, the energy was something crazy for me. I mean, like crazy. There was a time when I was ready to give up. I had a moment where I just sat in the car and I just started screaming. I was screaming out, this is stupid. I'm over it. I'm freaking done. How is it that I'm helping, guide so many people and just being this person for everyone else? But yet here I am. I was like, I'm done. I give up. We all have been where we felt alone and unsupported. Have you ever had a time in your life where you felt like giving up, where you felt like nothing was going right? Nothing made sense at all. You were seeking clarity, crazy conversations in your head, just completely feeling off. Yeah, I know I've been there. The moment you feel at your worst, you feel like there's nothing left to do and you're just ready to give up. But I want to tell you that's the exact time you don't. And just know that something big is getting ready to happen and yet your ego is attempting to stop it. So I wanted to chat with you about 3 powerful ways to silence your inner critic. But before that, let's discuss the difference between our soul and our egos. See, your soul, that's your spirit. It's the essence of who you truly are. Your authentic self. The person you are when the mask, or some people, the mask with an S, comes off. When you're stripped away from your titles, the labels, expectations, something that never changes. Just divine, pure energy from the universe. You're amazing, beautiful, pure. When you get that gut feeling, the voice that guides you and stops you from a disaster, your soul is the driver when you start to embrace and love and accept yourself exactly as you are. This is when you start to forgive yourself as well as others. You start allowing the ebbs and flows of life. Like your soul, you feel this connection to something. It's something that you can't explain what it is. When you're maybe out and about, the clouds start to stand out more. The trees are amazing. And you see the beauty in everything around you. But most importantly, you remember your purpose in life. You start to follow your path. You start to share your gifts with the world. So it's like our soul is eternal. It's always there, even when we don't feel it. And so now, when it comes to the ego is that image of yourself. The social mask, the ones that we put on for the world. Those titles, those roles, like we're a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a friend, a boss, a husband, a wife, those things. Now, when the ego shows up, it has you thinking about the same thing over and over and over and over again. Man, you be in your feelings. Your ego will have you trapped in so much fear that you start to believe that you have no support, no resources, nothing. That little sneaky little ego will have you having the most important conversation you will ever have in your life, which is with yourself, saying, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. Ego will have you feeling like you have no purpose in life, like nothing is meaningful to you. And then your happiness comes from the external, when we start to seek out validation from other people. Oh, no. So here's a big one. Ego will have you comparing yourself to everyone. Like everyone, you start comparing yourself to everyone. You're feeling this jealousy. You're feeling this resentment. Now, we do have to live with our ego. And also, we don't have to listen to it. And in order for us to evolve and grow, we have to silence that little sneaky inner critic. Well, I believe that there are plenty of ways for us to silence the critic. To me, I believe that these are 3 powerful ways that I want to share with you. So number 1, you need to be aware of it. Like understand that voice that you hear and just know that when you're hearing that voice and it starts to come from a place of fear, recognize that's your ego, because the conversations that are from our higher self, our soul, they come from a place of happiness. They come from a place of love. They come from a place of clarity. clarity. You're not questioning things. So it's super, super important to be aware of when these things start to sneak up on us. Number 2, get yourself grounded. Disconnect from all the chaos and all the noise. Now, there's plenty of ways that you can get grounded. I highly suggest for you to get out in nature and be still. I don't mean you have to go and travel far. It could be walking the block. You can go sit at a park in your backyard if you have like a house in your backyard. But get out in nature. Just feel, like air, interact with the trees, the plants, the grass, and then get still. Get still. And when you're getting grounded, and especially when you're connecting with nature, I believe it's best to not have any like electronics with you, anything of that sort. Now, I personally myself, like you guys, I love a good podcast, and I'll get out times, and listen to my podcast, listen to some music and all of that good stuff when I'm really purely looking and seeking to get grounded because I feel so off. I disconnect from everything. So that way I'm able to fully be present in that moment, like right there, and not thinking about what was said on the podcast or the lyrics to the songs that then take me to another place in my life. I just need to sit here, take in the nature and be still and just let everything calm down. Even if it's chaotic in my head, when you get out in nature and you be still, it starts to calm down. So you want to get yourself grounded. The third thing, breathe. Simply breathe. And I know that may just sound like, okay, just whatever. I'm always breathing. I'm breathing now, and it's not doing anything. But no, I promise you, if you just breathe intentionally, taking those deep breaths in through your nose and then out through your mouth, just breathe. The instant you start to feel fear, anxiety, tensions, restlessness, impatience, irritation, even anger, whatever that is, you have to realize there is no emergency. There is no emergency. However, there is merely a situation that requires plenty of oxygen, sound reasoning, positive communication, and maybe even some fact finding so you can get your head above the water. But you just also have to remember that without breath, there is no life. And you are alive, and you are safe, and you are protected. You just need to breathe. Just breathe. And I want you guys to know that the universe has your back. We all came here to evolve and grow. And in order to evolve and grow, we have to have some challenges. Then it's up to us if we're going to respond to them or we're going to react. So when things are starting to happen in your life and you literally feel like you don't know what to do, circle back to these 3 things. Beware of the conversation that you're having with yourself to know if it's your ego, your soul. Get yourself grounded and breathe. And then you're going to step back and look at that situation and say, okay, what am I to learn from this? What am I being taught? And then you're going to respond instead of reacting. And even in times, depending on what is going on with you, take that situation and flip it upside down. And when I say flip it upside down, start looking at it differently. And if you find yourself in a situation that you've been in before, it just starts to look a little different. I want you to think about, what did you do before when you were in this situation? And you can list out all the things that you would normally do just to get them out the way. And this is where you get to start being creative. Because maybe in this case, the things that you've done before is the reason why you're in the position you are now, because you keep doing the same things over and over and over and over, which ultimately means you're not learning the lesson, which ultimately means you're not evolving and growing, which is what we came here for. We came here to evolve and grow, and we're in this school of earth. So you want to step back and look at it from a different perspective. That's why I say turn it upside down, because it'll start looking funny. It'll start looking crazy, and then it'll start to make sense. So again, remember, the universe has your back. The universe isn't out to get you. The universe is out to give you a little nudge, so you truly evolve and grow. And it's not going to be easy. We already know it's not easy, but we don't want easy anyway. What is that? We get super bored, right? My son is 8 years old and he's homeschooled now, and he hates school. He hated going to school, but he was a really good student, good grades, very well behaved, but he didn't like school. He didn't like school because he wasn't stimulated. It was boring to him. That was like one of the number one things. He's like, it's boring. And the teacher sent a note home to me and said that when he's done with his work, and especially his math work, she would have to give him extra work because he was done before everyone and it was just so easy to him. That he was like, he didn't want to be there, and I'm like, that's torture, sending him to school to somewhere where he's not being stimulated because everything is so easy to him. He needed more, and when I say more, it wasn't just like the addition and subtraction and all this stuff. He just needed more. He didn't need to be inside all those hours. He needed to be outside. He needed to be learning what it is that he wanted to embrace and what it is that he wanted to learn and go even like a little further than the level that he was on. So I'm saying all this to say is that he didn't want it easy. And like, how do you grow? How do you evolve and grow if everything is super easy to you and you're just still stuck in that same space? Every day in school doing the same thing over and over, and everybody's doing the same thing, even though that everybody's on different levels. So it's the same thing with us. We're here to evolve and grow, and we need to be challenged. So for you, if you're going through something right now, or even when something comes up in like the future, just know that this is a part of your evolution. This is a part of your growth. Are you going to respond or are you going to react? And just step back, literally. Just step back. And we all go through this. I preach and I teach this every day. And guess what? I'm human. I go through the same thing. And I sometimes forget to go through my own steps because things can be so crazy and so hectic. And you're literally like, I don't know what to do. But because we are coming from that place of fear or that place of a lack mentality, that place of, scarcity, that place of victim and everything, you can't even see the solution that's right in front of you. Like, it's right there, but we're so bogged down with so many other feelings and emotions, and our ego is just like, and then for me, those past couple of days, my ego and my shadow side was just rocking, was just controlling everything, was just like, nope, I'm here, you're gonna take the back seat and we're gonna keep moving forward. And guess what I did? I allowed it. I gave them all the energy. I was feeding them, feeding my ego, feeding it. And it got me nowhere. It got me ready to give up. And then I started laughing because I was like, I don't even know what give up means. But I can tell you, when I said I give up, I'm done, I'm over it, it felt good just to say that. But I don't even know what give up means. It's not even like in my DNA, But again, because the ego and my shadow side was the driving force and was just rocking, was like, nope, we good. We're going to keep moving forward because you keep feeding us. And how I was feeding them was just like, I don't know what to do. I keep saying it over and over and over. So I'm feeding, I don't know what to do. So guess what? The anxiety and the fear and all those crazy thoughts and those conversations was just going over and over and over and over in my head because I kept saying, I don't know what to do. Crazy. I do know what to do. And I had to practice what it is that I teach. And I had to recognize what was going on and have a conversation with myself like, whoa, ego, I'm going to need you to calm down because I'm about to get it together. And the thing is that especially with the energy of that new moon, there were certain things that were coming up that threw me off. And because I was in the middle of it, I'm like, what is going on? And then when I stepped back from it, I realized like this is a part of my evolution and growth, that these people, these situations needed to be released so I can make room for the new. So you want to come from a place of non-attachment, because if you can detach yourself from your situation, you can then also be able to see that this being removed really is for your highest good. Like, it really truly is for your highest good. So our ego is very, very tricky, and our ego can be very dominating, especially in the chaotic world that we live in. I mean, let's just be real. There's so many things around us that play on our fears. So we can already be doubting something and then boom, we'll see something or hear something and it just magnifies it more. But I definitely want to tell you to starve your ego and feed your soul. So no matter what situation you are in right now, do what makes you feel good. And when I say that, it may have nothing to do with your situation, but you like to paint. You like to go bowling. You like to write. So whatever are those things that you enjoy doing, even if you are in a dark place, do it, because what you're doing is you're feeding your soul. And like when your soul is fragmented into pieces, that's when everything else in your life is in pieces. So if you feed that soul what it desires, you'll start to see the other areas of your life start to fall in place. And the things that were once difficult are now super easy and falling into place so easy that you start to question it like, wait, what's going on? Wait a minute, that was super easy. Okay, that's weird. I just knew calling, the phone company, I was going to be on hold for 20 minutes, but they picked up within the first minute. You're like, what? This never happens, And I know that may sound even like silly with that, but that's how it works. When you start to starve your ego and you feed your soul, which your soul is desiring, every other area of your life starts to fall in place. I promise you. So I want to ask you or challenge you today to really step back from your situation, whatever it is that's going on, and understand that in this present moment, you are safe and you are okay. And I want you to think about what it is that you enjoy doing. It could be multiple things. And if you come up with a lot of them, great. If you come up with one, great. But I want you to do one to two things that you enjoy doing. And just take a little bit of time, not even take a little bit of time, make the time, because we all have it. I don't care how busy you are. We have a few minutes. So let's just be real. Make that time to do one or two of those things that you have on your list and just feel it, be present, be there. And what ends up happening is you start to, when you're doing this activity or whatever it is, solutions to these things that we perceive as being problems start to come in and you're not even thinking about them. You're just putting it over here because what you're doing is you're creating space. You're creating space for, the solutions and the answers that are always within us to come in. And right now, when we're filled with all of these emotions, we don't have any space for it. So I want you to create some space today. Today. So whenever you, stumble upon this podcast, when you stop listening to it, I want you to make some time for yourself, even if it's just for 5, to 10 minutes. If that's all that you feel like you can spare, great. Whatever it is that you can do. And I want you to do 1 or 2 things that you enjoy, that makes you happy. Just do it. I promise you, you're going to feel amazing and you're going to want more of it. You're going to want more and more and more of the things that you desire, the things that you want, and the things that make your soul scream, yes, 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 thank you, thank you. And you'll continue to do that. And as you continue to do that, you will start to see the other areas of your life fall in place. I promise you. So once again, the universe has your back. I have your back. And just know that I'm sending each and every one of you love and light. Until next time. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to #certified. If anything resonated with you, I would love to continue the conversation. You can follow me on Instagram at @itistisha. And if you want to be a part of the #certified tribe, you can join my Facebook group by going to the search tab and putting in #certified. My website is conversationswithtisha.com. As always, have a great one on purpose. Love you.